Hey, what is up YouTube? Andrew Rooney here. I'm a full-time drummer and drum teacher here in Auckland, New Zealand. Today we've got a PayPal request for Richard Hinman. Hello, here is some info about my request. Cream disbanded in 1968. In 2005 they had a reunion concert. Toad was a famous rock song with a drum solo in the 60s. Cream was Eric Clapton, Jack Bruce and Ginger Baker. Ginger Baker was 65 when he did the concert. His solo is measured and not as wild and fast as in his younger days, but I like it. Looking forward to your thoughts. Richard from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. So it is a live Cream Toad, Royal Albert Hall. When was 2005? I've heard about the song Toad. I think a few people have brought it up. And it's good to get back into some Ginger Baker, actually. Richard, thank you so much for your support of the channel and this request. We'll get straight into it. Really nice repetitive motifs to start off the solo. It's starting at a low dynamic, real jazz approach. And if you're wondering what these things are in his cymbal over there, they're called rivets. They add a bit of sizzle to the cymbal, which I'm sure you'll hear a long sustain. Whenever he hits that cymbal, you'll hear a shh, tailing it off. Really killer sound and a really intriguing start to the solo with this repetitive and simple motif. I'm just going to back it up. And then development. Finds a motif, lands on a motif, repeats it, and then develops it. Classic jazz language here, right here. Fretless. There it is. Oh, come on. Oh, they're actually leaving. Real African-based ostinato going on here. Really cool. I didn't expect them to actually just leave. A la Led Zeppelin, right? Everyone would leave and just, hey, we're going backstage for some stuff. You got this, John? Yeah, cool. But yeah, back to Ginger. This is pretty killer. I'm not going to lie. 3 people up on that big stage. I mean, it's a real throwback to a different time too, where you just have 3 musicians up on the stage. Big auditorium, and then for 2 to just leave, you got just drums. I mean, I kind of felt the pressure of that as they walked off. I felt the pressure with him. I don't know if he's feeling the pressure. He looks pretty calm to me. But, oh man, I would just feel it's kind of like naked up here. Like this is, oh man, you just got to go for it. Got to go for it. has a real certain sort of 6/8 Nanigo, African, Afro-Cuban feel that he's playing here. And it's just really, really cool. And guys, remember, original video link in the description of my video. If you do get sick of me stopping the video, that's what I gotta do. Gonna keep stopping it and letting you know how I'm feeling about it, first impressions. But yeah, original video link in the description. Check it out, of course, without me talking all over it. Also worthy of note, that left foot ostinato that he's got going on the hi-hats, he's splashing the cymbals slightly, so he's getting a fatter note. He's not just going chick, chick, chick. He's chick, chick, chick. Has almost like a shaker or a guido kind of quality to it. So he's really drawing on some influence here and really wearing influence on a sleeve on the solo. Accelerando here. Yeah, that's the Nanigo pattern on the cowbell. I knew he was feeling that Nanigo as a bass, as a sort of 6/8 bass underneath the solo. And one real quick tip for drummers, get a lot of students coming in asking about solos, where do I even start? Drum solo, what do I do? Most people just freak out when it comes to a drum solo. Set an ostinato with your feet. Even quarter notes, but, which is essentially doing here, something to hold it down and then start to play over the top of it. It's going to take practice, but for me, that is the best way to do it. It also lets the whole band know where the time sits. If you don't play anything and then you just start chucking in rudiments and fills and there's nothing tying it together. You need something going on your feet. Preferably a relatively simple ostinato like this is completely fine. Interesting to note his foot position there on the hi-hat pedal, which he was quite far back on the pedal, which allows you to sort of stomp at it and get that splash sound. So if this is the foot plate, you don't really want to have your foot smack bang like right on top of it. Normally back a bit for the most leverage and the most control, the most sort of fine-tuned control, which is getting here. We're 5 minutes in, maybe 4 minutes of solo, something like that anyway. And really consistent, really nice, as I say, shaker or percussion type sound going on that left foot hi-hat. Really, really cool. Oh, he's just stopped it just as I say that. Oh. So he's gone into full jazz, classic, just the classic jazz ride pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, swung, triplet, feel on the ride cymbal, and comping between the left hand and the left foot and the right foot over that simple and classic jazz ride pattern. Now we've stopped that. Different idea here. He keeps reaching back for that Nanyugo pattern. And also notice how now we're not doing that percussion, African kind of percussion sound on the hi-hat, that splash hi-hat foot. Now it's sort of a bit more jazz influenced, jazz focused, I guess, part of the solo, and we've got tight hi-hat closes. So it's a subtle shift, but it's an important one because he's really marking time at this point with that left foot by keeping it nice and tight. There it is. Nice. Again, repetitive motif. That was almost call and response between those small splashes and the toms. He was playing like a splash melody there and then answering it with the tom and snare. Loves the tribal toms. We're back to the original motif here. The band. Yep, ready guys. Come back. Come back. Here they are. Richard, yeah, absolutely classic pick there. I've never seen that solo before. I have heard of the song Toad, or obviously I've heard of Cream. So now I can see why it's such an iconic song. It's such a drum feature, right? And I'll be curious to sort of A-B that with an earlier 60s rendition of the solo to see how his vocab changed. And it's just interesting to me how much African flavor was in it, how much jazz flavor was in it. I knew Ginger Baker had a real jazz. I might have even considered himself a jazz drummer, right? And yeah, heaps of stuff to dissect from that. Heaps of things. Overall, like zooming out, big picture, look at the solo, a real classic story. So we start with this minimal, plain, quite sparse, and we build and we build. We start getting into motifs. We take it on a journey into jazz, into African, into toms, into tribal tom beats, and then into the double kick sort of rock fusion world, and then back to that original motif. Great storyteller, great soloist, has a certain idea of how the story should go and the journey that he wants to take you on, and he took you there. He did it. A couple of things to look out for if you're not a drummer. I know a lot of non-drummers, a lot of people who watch my channel are just casual music fans or fans of drumming, of music, of musicians. Things to watch out for in solos is some of these repetitive motifs or these repetitive rhythms that you'll hear drummers coming back to. And that's what catches your ear, and then it's really cool because you can hear them hit this rhythm, they land on it, you can sort of see how they've landed on it, repeat it, develop. And it's really cool, and you really get an insight into sort of the DNA, fingerprints of the drummer, what their influences are, what they hear, what they're going for, how much improv is involved, and where that idea that they land on, where that's going to take them. A drummer like this, pretty jazz influenced, I would assume his solo would be quite different each night, while still sort of, I guess, telling the same overall story and sort of following the same arc, but within that improvising within a framework, and that's jazz. Richard Hinman, thank you so much for the support of the channel and this awesome request. Great to get to a big drum solo like this, just amazing. And guys, if you dug this video, please do consider hitting that subscribe button, like button, and leaving a comment with what you thought of the video and what I should check out in the future. If you would like to support my channel further, I do have a Patreon. It's just $5 a month. You get access to the blocked videos. If you have a direct reaction request that you definitely want to get on the channel, that is via the PayPal link. And remember, you as a subscriber of my channel get access to a full and free 30-day trial over at Drumeo. Learn from the world's best drummers, whole heap of drum transcriptions, and while we're there, you can select piano, guitar, and vocals. 4 instruments that you can learn on the same account, the same price as just having Drumeo. It is phenomenal what is going on over there. And remember, the best drummers are the best musicians, like Ginger Baker, not just a drummer, musician. So you can go check out those other skills and those other instruments there. They really do help you with your drumming. All right, I'm going to go work on my drum solos. That's rather inspiring. I really, really dug that. Richard, thank you again. And guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Till next time, take care. Ciao.